Just call. Tell him, we are going to allow him once the parliament is just over here. In a few. Oh, you told them? Yeah. It's also picking up quite
People power!
Flat out. Yeah, for sure. I don't right
We are fighting for freedom. 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 And to our Kenyan brothers,
better get really good views.
They found it in Uganda, but in Kenya, we are proud to see it.
We are fighting for freedom. 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 Stop this. We are fighting for freedom. 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 We are fighting for freedom.
Send them some videos.
Outside of Kenya, Human Rights Commission, 254, University of Nairobi, musician, Bobi was a musician, now as a wengine. Tuko hapa to demand freedom. Uganda, of course, Uganda is a capitalist state because they are governed by a dictator, and that's why we have experienced this kind of violations which are targeting the members of the opposition, the media, and other citizens. We have stopped here at the Supreme Court because we have discovered that in Uganda, part of what happened there was framed up charges where people were court-martialed in Uganda. So to us here, we are saying the Supreme Court, you have also to demand and to sustain your freedom. Otherwise, you are going to be an instrument of the executive of the Uhuru Kenyatta like we are seeing in Uganda. So we are saying freedom in Kenya and freedom in Uganda. Further, they are just passing by. They are going to proceed in Parliament. They are going to meet for Foreign Affairs and to Malaysia Uganda House, where we tell them off and we tell them to stand up and embrace the democracy in Africa. So, we want this. Comrades power! Comrades power! I want all of us together to chant, Museveni must fall, Uganda must be free. Okay? Yes. Museveni must. Museveni must. Museveni must. Uganda must. Uganda must be free. Bobi Wine is a freedom fighter.
Oh yes.
Bobi Wine is fighting for the liberation of the Ugandan people.
Oh yes.
And we, as the youth of Kenya, we stand in solidarity with Bobi Wine and the Ugandan people. And I say this, in our lifetime, this year or next year latest, Museveni must fall. Museveni will not go voluntary. So we must pick out Museveni. Change has started. The people have spoken. We can't go back. We can't relent. So Uganda must be free. Uganda must be free. And Museveni must fall.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So, just because Bobi Wine was a musician, it's a musician, that's on behalf of musicians, and then we proceed. People power! People power! Our power! As musicians, we are saying, Museveni must go! Museveni must go! Dictators must go! Dictators must go! We are saying, our fellow musician, Bobi Wine is a free man and an innocent man. He needs to be free. Now, Bobi Wine must be free. Bobi Wine must be free. Free Uganda. Free Kenya. Free Africa. And we are saying, all leaders must stand up to be counted. If you will not speak during this time, don't come for us to give you your votes. You are a dictator supporting Museveni. Museveni must go.
We want change.
People's power! People's power! People's power! We are here in solidarity with the suffering people of Uganda. We are here to demand the freedom from military rule, disguised as democratic rule in Uganda. We are here to declare that the solidarity, the integration of the East African people is gonna happen wapende wasipende at the people's level. The people of Uganda, the young people of Uganda, led by the ghetto president, Bobi Wine, has shown us the way. Vijana wanachukua hatamu, Museveni apende asipende. We are here to condemn the silence of the leadership of the East African nations. We have seen how the heads of state, how the governments of East Africa have been quiet as Ugandans have been brutalized. We say that is not the way to go for civilized states. We demand that you call to order any of your own, like Museveni, who goes against the people of East Africa. East Africa will be free. Uganda will be free. Free Uganda, free. Free Uganda, free. Free parliament.
No, let's do LSK.
People power! People power! On behalf of the Law Society of Kenya, we are in support of this march. Free Bobi Wine! Free Uganda!
Haya, asanteni sana, tunaelekea parliament. Parliament road ya Uganda ni na huku pia. Tu pamoja na nyinyi.
Sam. You want to plug in? No, you have to plug in for someone. Maybe all together, huh? You back? And if you just want to like where did you disappear? We, atuoni hiyo kitu yako? Huyu. Mwambie pindue. Wewe. Pindua atuoni kitu hapo. You feel like talking? I don't know, I've seen like the enemy saying they've been fired. Alamin, it's called Alamin. Human rights guy. You can get him? Wanaketi pale mbele.
We need that flag here. Now everyone should be behind that flag. Everyone should be behind that flag.
We are fighting for freedom. We are fighting for freedom.
We know Bobi has been removed, right? Still we have other political. Yes, he has been arrested. Ah yeah, he's been arrested again. Let's fight for freedom again. DJ again, from the top. Besigye is under house arrest. Besigye is under house arrest. Freedom is coming tomorrow. That is not something you said. Freedom is coming tomorrow. Yes,
Museveni must go. 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 Museveni must go.
Museveni must go! Museveni must go! Museveni must go!
Free Uganda! 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 The block! The block!
Behind the flag, please. Behind the flag. Behind the flag. Behind the flag. Behind the flag, kindly. Behind the flag, eh? Museveni must go! Down, Museveni down! Down, Museveni down! We are using the other entrance, eh? How's the show? DJ again! Tuchangalie, sio? House of Shame,
Oh yeah. Let me come and hold it for you. Okay. Hello and welcome to Pulse Live Kenya. If you just joined the video, I'm sure you can already tell what's happening. Kenyans have come together in protest against the injustice that took place against Bobi Wine. News is currently coming in that he has been released and the charges against him have been dropped. But Kenyans still insist that Museveni should be accountable for his actions, and I think he just needs to let it go, is what most Kenyans are saying. He's been in power for a long time and he needs to let the younger generation come in. And that is why people are here today marching in protest for the man Bobi Wine. Kenyans and Ugandans alike have come together today for this cause. So as you can see, we just passed Parliament. Before we were at the Supreme Court, and before that we were at Freedom Corner, and the march continues. We are still heading strongly towards the Ugandan embassy. So also for the people who are watching this in the crowd, I'd like to find out from you, as much as it has been said that Bobi Wine has been released and the charges against him have been dropped, what do you think the odds are that this is fake news in order to simmer down what the people are doing? So we want to just keep walking, following the march, and as you can see, the organizer for the whole thing, Bonface Monkey. How are you doing? So my name is Shem. So my name is Shem. This is Pulse Live Kenya.
Yes.
I was wondering, this is Pulse Live Kenya. Wow. Okay, anyway, I guess we're gonna get a chance to talk to him again. He needs to take some pictures for the fans. But yeah, we just want to find out what inspired him to organize this march today. Yes, how are you doing?
Very good.
So I know my name is Shamwiki and you don't really need an introduction, but could you tell us who you are?
My name is Bonface Mwangi,
yes,
and I'm a Kenyan citizen.
Well played. I just want to find out, because this was basically your initiative. So what inspired you, or what led to you bringing all these Kenyans together in support for Bobi Wine?
It wasn't me alone. It was many of us, Kenyans who believe that Bobi Wine is an innocent man who is in jail and he should be released. That's why we're here. We know that very well that Museveni is afraid of Bobi Wine, and we're saying Bobi Wine is not an individual. Bobi Wine is an idea. And you can't kill ideas, you can't jail ideas. So the idea called Bobi Wine must be released and the struggle must continue.
So now, after the protest that takes place today, the turnout is amazing. But what are the next steps you guys plan to take?
The struggle is not an event, my friend. So this is an event, but the struggle is continuous. So Bobi Wine was released earlier, like an hour ago. Then he's been arrested for manslaughter and treason. So he's still a jail, but so to speak, or a prisoner of Museveni, and that must change. So the pressure will continue, both online, and some of us will have to go to Uganda.
And then, considering, let's say, Museveni's track record and his position as the president of the country, how do you think, or what way can we get justice for what is currently happening to Bobi Wine?
Museveni is a dictator, but dictators are falling. The reason why Bobi Wine is in jail, Museveni is afraid of falling. Like he's afraid of actually losing power. So that's why Bobi Wine is in jail. So the days of Museveni are coming to an end. He's going to fall. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Maze. Let's continue with the protest. Hopefully we'll get another chance to speak. Palembeles. Okay. So you heard it from Boniface Mwangi himself. The struggle is not an event. After the event, the struggle still continues. So after that, we're still going to be trying to get, well, the man free, because news coming in says that Bobi Wine was released and his charges were dropped, but he has been rearrested with new charges, which, to be honest, is mad thing. We talked to her. Hi, my name is Shem Wikia. This is Pulse Live Kenya. We're live on Facebook, also streaming in Uganda. Could you please tell us who you are?
My name is Nerima Wako Ojiwa, and I work with an organization called Siasa Place. Yes.
So, as a Kenyan, I'm assuming, what brought you out to support this cause today?
It has to be freedom of speech, because for one, the fact that Bobi Wine is a member of parliament and a young member of parliament, we support youth leadership, but not only that, being allowed to live in a democracy where you can have your own opinions and not having fear of judgment and the fear of arrest. So if someone within power can be arrested for his way of thought and way of speak, it infringes on all of our rights. Just because it's happening in Uganda doesn't mean it's not something that can happen here. So we're standing out here in support and saying that we want to free Bobi Wine, but not just Bobi Wine, also the other Aura 33, and we're speaking for freedom of speech and democracy.
Alright, so considering Museveni is president of Uganda, so it means taking action against him is very difficult. So in what way can we get justice for the act? In what way can we get justice for what's happening to Bobi Wine?
It has to be through the legal systems. Just because he's president doesn't mean that he's the only one who rules a country. There are judges, there's the judiciary. There are also people who are in opposition. What we're saying is that we follow the law and we follow the jurisdiction of the law, and that's what we're pushing for. It's not about Museveni right now. A lot of people are tired of him. He's been there for a long time. And when you talk to Ugandans, he's been there as long as they've lived. So those are some of the things that we're talking about today in terms of pushing for better systems in our continent.
And what do you think the protest that is taking place today, what impact do you think it has on the current situation in Uganda?
Definitely, we're showing support, because as Kenyans sometimes we're viewed as a little bit selfish. We view only our politics and it takes over the region. We're talking about Rwanda, South Sudan as well. So for once in a while, we're seeing Uganda, we're seeing what's happening there, and we're standing with you as much as we're in Kenya ourselves, and we're going to push with you. So we've been contacting a lot of friends who are in Uganda also. We've been communicating. WhatsApp makes the world flat. So what they're going through right now, we're experiencing with them, and we're standing in solidarity with them.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time today. All right. So guys are finally so as you can see, we are now at okay, so as you can see, we're at the parliament, right outside the parliament actually, and a lot of people we're finally, people are sitting down. I believe that we might be hearing something from some of the organizers. But I want to find out from you guys in the audience, what do you think the way forward should be after this? Because word has it that Bobi Wine was released and rearrested and given other charges. Apparently he's been blamed for manslaughter or something of the sort. So do you think that all of this is just a way that the government is trying to subvert the voice of Bobi Wine in Uganda? Let us know what you think. It's wild.
Thank you. So we are organized. We are starting with Alusaka, Akusala. Akusala, where are you? Akusala from the LSK, please. Akusala, please, where are you? It's here, it's here.
Sit down, even if you're in the sit down. You're on the throne, these are all men, let me sit here.
Today we are mourning democracy in Africa, and it's very unfortunate that our neighbor Uganda is the specimen right now. As the Law Society of Kenya, we stand for the rule of law.
Thank you very much.
We also stand for political freedoms of every person, notwithstanding their age, race, religion, or tribe. What is happening in Uganda is very unfortunate, and we condemn it in the strongest words possible. Because what we need right now is for the true tenets of republicanism to be applied in Africa. That governance should be within a limited time and at the pleasure of the people. When we extend time too long within the realms of power, such that we have to torture citizens and so that to cling to power, it is very unfortunate. So we stand with Uganda, we stand with every citizen of Africa, we stand with as a community of nations, and we will not say Museveni was over now, but what we are saying is that we want real freedom for the people of Uganda. Thank you so much. Our people's power! DJ, nipe ngoma ya Kakai Kilonzo, Nipe ngoma ya Kakai Kilonzo. The next speaker, please. Yeah, comrade coming next, DJ, you ready? Kakai Kilonzo, if you're ready. DJ, Megan from the University of Nairobi. Comrades, power! Comrades, power! Comrades to survive. Yes! An elephant that kills a rat is not a hero. Comrades, power! Comrades, power! Bobi Wine has rights. Yes! His rights are inalienable. Comrades, power! Power! People! Our power! Our power! Our power! We are here
here to demand for the unconditional release of Bobi Wine. Communist power. We are also here to demand for the unconditional release of Museveni from stupidity, from ineptitude, from wickedness. Communist power. Comrades from the University of Nairobi and all universities will join and we are demanding for the unconditional release. Museveni must go. Communist power. And if they dare to rearrest Bobi Wine or his family or his wife or anybody else, power. We are demanding and we are saying again for the last time. Uganda must be freed from the stupidity of
Latest update, eh? Yes. BCJ has been arrested. Yes. So let me invite Eugene Karaka from KU. You ready?
Multimedia is here. Communist power. Communist power. We demand the freedom of Bobi Wine, the freedom of BCJ. We demand Africa to be free. Free Uganda. Free Bobi Wine. Free Africa. Communist power. Communist power. Is that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Communist power.
Thank you very much. Let's have Peter Yogon. Peter, where are you? Peter? Is he here?
I'm Peter Evans, the Communications Director for FUSA. I'd like to speak to release our statement on behalf of FUSA. Comrades power! Comrades power!
And now let's invite musician Eko Dida. Are you ready for Eko Dida? I have sung a new man. In the spirit to love. Eko Dida, where are you? Eko Dida, dicho ngoma Eko Dida anapokuja on stage. Eko Dida is here with us.
You are sleeping.
Holiday, thank you very much for coming. Na wasanii wote ambao wako hapa hivi. Eko Dida, are you ready? Eko? Eko Dida is coming. Anapokuja, let's have David Ochola. Comrades, power! My message is simple. Yes. If Museveni is going to continue the injustices against democracy, I'm kindly appealing for the members of parliament of this country. Yes. Please move quickly with a motion to block any business with Uganda until Second information, if Museveni is not going to release Bobi Wine today, Kisumu, we are going to open fire. And you know, if Kisumu open fire, there's not going to be any business as usual. Therefore, we are calling for His Excellency, the President of this country, in the spirit of handshake, look for the Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Can you guys extend that immediately to Uganda? If he refuses, even Lake Victoria, we are going to drain water. Holiday, thank you very much. Where are you, Holiday? Yes, Holiday. Thank you very much, brother.
Kiasi.
Nimeongea on Twitter, na Instagram na Facebook story hii protest. Watu wakaanza kuniambia stick to music.
No. Wajinga.
I'm an active citizen. Sindio? I'm an active citizen. Sindio? What is happening to Bobi Wine? Kesho itakuwa holiday, sio? Kesho itakuwa wewe, sindio? So I'm here as an active citizen. I'm here as David Muthengi, not even as Holy Dave. And I'm also here as a musician, sindio? Na sio wasanii wako wapi leo? Wako wapi leo? Wale wengine wako wapi leo? Hawako. Exactly. Mimi message yangu ni moja, message yangu nataka tupeleke wale wasanii wengine. And all the influencers in Kenya, tuambie ni aje? Tuacha kujificha nyuma keyboard, au sio? Kama ni kwa skills, tunafika kwa kids, sindio? Free Bobi Wine. Free Uganda. Free Kenya. Kabisa, asanteni sana kunipatia hii chance man. Nashukuru sana.
Thank you very much. Tunaenda bado Uganda House tuko na speeches So kama sija mention saizi remember kwamba uko na have the list. Oh, let's have one feminist here please just come.
Yeah.
Semeni pussy power.
Pussy power.
Nige request kama wanaharakati pia tuko na discipline tusonge tu kidogo. Ningeita the women activists who are here. Please just give us a space. We have given you a space.
Address us. Incite us.
One thing that I want to say, as comrades, we are very saddened with whatever is happening, and we have a very tafadhali tupunguze kelele. Tuko na male parliamentarians who are young and female parliamentarians who are young. Tukianzia na nani kwa parliament when youth?
Bobi. Jagua. Wanalambana huko ndani. Wanakula pesa huko ndani sasa hivi. Wanakulana. Wanakulanga elfu
ndio? Nadhani unatusikiza.
Wanakulana huko.
Wanakula pesa huko.
Walikula sukari.
Uganda imekuwa detained. Where is your voice? Where is the voice of Bobi Wine? Where is the voice of Sakaja?
Jagua.
Tuna demand.
Unakulana tu.
Nani? Bobi Wine anadili na Museveni. Yes. Pia kudili na dictatorship wa Kenya. Now the African rising. We want Museveni out. We want the African dictators out. We want the African women to be liberated. Na youth tumeona wamekuwa in the forefront kupigania. We have seen Bobi Wine coming out as a true ideological person who believes in the liberation of Africa. It's an African uprising. Youth power. Youth power. Tuna demand our parliamentarians if kama watafanya kazi yoyote tunawakujia. We want to see them taking action. We want to see them on the street like
we'll castrate them.
Leo ni mimi, kesho inaweza kuwa ni yao. We want action. And we are demanding. Kama wachukui action pia sisi tunawakujia. And embassy of Uganda, we are coming for them. Hakuna kubembelezana. We don't want to Africa rising. Africa moja. Sema Afrika huru. Afrika moja. Afrika moja.
Afrika huru.
Huru. Afrika moja.
Afrika huru.
Tunataka Africa uprising. When Uganda bleeds, we bleed. When Uganda cries, we cry.
Viva Wine! Viva!
Anthem, let's have the anthem. Let's have the anthem first. Let's have the anthem there. Let's have the anthem. Tunaenda embassy, si ndio? Let's have the anthem first. Let's have the anthem. Tunaenda Uganda House kwanza, si ndio? Uganda! Haya, twende tafadhali. DJ. Aya, before we go, let's hand over the petition, sindio? Let's give them our petition. Kama watafunga nao nyama, shauri yao, sindio? Yes. Who is receiving the petition? Nani anapeana petition? MP mgani amekuja hapo? Oh, I've seen Malombe is here, Wacha tupeane petition, Mr. Malombe is here. Yes. Who is receiving the petition? Where's waizwamiwa?
Watu wa askari wako wapi?
10,000 mgani ana receive petition?
Ita Ruto ndiye alireceive award Uganda.
10,000 mgani ana receive petition?
Ita Ruto ndiye alipewa award Uganda.
Order. Malombe, you ready? Thank you.
Wale walichukua 10,000 na wacha by 47 million.
Alikula 70 cheki. Malombe hatukuamini bure. Unakulana tuko ndani. Shame. We will castrate you.
Boni, come and talk to this guy. Boni, as a representative, you need to talk to him.
Member of Parliament, one person.
Comrade power!
Power!
Comrade power!
Power!
Kaeni chini kila mtu. Everybody sit down.
Everybody sit down.
What's it? The guys at the back.
Yeah, I feel like we should. Feels like it, right?
Comrade power! Comrade power! Now the bad news is there's not a single member of parliament. Hakuna mbunge wowote wa Kenya anataka kuchukua petition. Wote wamekataa. Wote ni marafiki wa nani? The members of parliament has betrayed the voice of the people.
10,000!
Came here because they represent us. But they have refused to take a petition. Kwa sababu hatuna pesa. Kama mko na mashilingi, rusheni bunge. Coins. Pesa ndio hiyo. Shilingi 10. Bunge kuwaomba wachukue petition. Chukua. Sasa lazima waongwe.
Yeah. Getting fucking tired. I feel like
Kila mzee achukue 10 hapo.
that was funny as hell.
Isiende kabla haijabaki. Kama wataenda twende. Sawa. Tumewaanga, wamekubali. Twende tupende. Wanataka ngapi?
Basi imetosha. Basi imetosha.
It's getting sensational. Do you want to talk? Huh? Do you want to talk? I don't have much to say. It's exciting. Maybe I tell them how long has it been? Like an hour. More than I assume. I hope. That's what, Pastor?
Let's move. Come on, we are fighting for freedom. We are going to the foreign house, eh? We are going to the foreign house. We don't need similar to the one of slave trade. This operation is what's moving together. It's okay. Just in, eh? News just in. He's been recharged again with the treason, eh? That sound is already desperate. Oh my God. Freedom is coming. Tell the number.
Yeah.
That many pictures?
Not really, but it's been on all through.
You should get us like a smaller camera that's lit.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Okay.
When I'm multicast.
Sindio. But now, but when you shoulder it.
Free time for African dictators to fall. M7 must be out. Then we must come back to our Kenyan despots. The despots must also go. Free Bobi Wine! Free Bobi Wine! Free Bobi Wine! Free Bobi Wine!
Plus Alex says. Where are we? Huh? Arabia Avenue. Vigilance House. What house? Vigilance. I don't Police headquarters. I don't really know this place. I just know where it is.
Yes, people power! People's power! DJ, check it.
Talking about the petition, I had that.
What?
Anyone receiving the petition, please? Anyone receiving the petition?
You want to talk to Alamin? Yeah? Do you have anything?
Yeah, but I'll figure it out.
We go, let's go. You said his name is? Huh? You said his name is? Alamin Kimati. Alamin Kimati.
Hello. Hi, my name is Shemwike. This is Pulse Live Kenya. We're live on Facebook and we're also streaming live in Uganda.
Yes.
Could you please tell us who you are?
My name is Alamin Kimathi. I'm a human rights defender in the East African region.
Okay. So what can you say is the main reason that brought you out to support this cause today?
We are here in solidarity with the people of Uganda, with the suffering, tortured, brutalized people of Uganda, and particularly in response to the last 1 week, the events of the last 1 week, right from Arua, the shootings, the killings of people in Arua, the arrest and torture of Robert Chagulanyi MP, and the brutalization of Honorable Zake, 300 citizens of Arua municipality, and their detention in military barracks. Today we hear that Bobi Wine, Robert Chagulanyi, has been released and then rearrested to be arraigned in a civilian court. Our demand is for the rule of law to be observed in Uganda, for the militarization of Uganda to cease, and that the people of Uganda be left to make their political choices without interferences by the state, and that the police state of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ceases to be, that human dignity must be observed by the people of Uganda, that they should be left to determine their own choices, that we as East Africans need to see ourselves belonging to the civilized community of nations, that as East Africans, despotism, dictatorship has no place in our march for development, human development. We cannot attain real people development with the kind of bad governance that we are seeing taking root in East Africa with despots like Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We demand that those arraigned in court be left to access justice without hinder or interference by the state.
And what of the other people who have been arrested? What do you think is the way forward for us to get justice for all the people who are facing like false accusations?
All charges that have been fabricated must be dropped. There is no way we can continue being allowed to determine our political causes if the state will come up with fabricated charges. Ugandans must be left free. This is a call to release the 300 people detained in Arua, the people who have been arrested in the streets of Kampala, and that they be allowed to demonstrate as peaceful protest is a human right.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Is there one last thing you'd like to say to the people watching from Uganda, from us as Kenyans?
We want to tell the people of Uganda we are in solidarity with you. We want to tell the young people, especially in Uganda, that they have shown the way, that Bobi Wine and the rest are showing the young people how to take over. The older generation to which I belong must give way. It is now the time for the young people to start their own development. Change must come, and real change has to be felt.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, it's a pleasure. Okay, guys, you've heard it from here. As Kenyans, we have to stand in support for these people.
I'm the chairman of University of Nairobi. Can I comment on this?
All right, okay, so my name is Shemwike. Please, could you introduce yourself one more time?
Okay, my name is Anthony Manyara. I'm the chairman of University of Nairobi student organization. I'm also the chairman of Kenya University Students Organization. Yes. Yeah.
So, what can you say was the main reason that brought you out to support this cause today?
Personally, I called out the comrades in the entire country. Yes. That is 71 universities, both public and private. We have come here today in solidarity with Bobi Wine. We believe that the justice here is justice everywhere. We believe that Africa, we have come to a time whereby we need to end injustice, to end corruption, to end oppression on the people. That is why we are starting with one of our own, Bobi Wine.
So like now with the situation happening in Uganda, yeah. Bobi Wine was released, charges dropped, he's been rearrested, and he's been charged with something else. Yeah. So how do you think we can get justice for all the bad things that have been happening to him?
What I believe, there is no power which surpasses the power of the people, the power of the masses. Even if he is charged with a lot of cases, trust me, within no time, because I believe that we'll have demonstrations in Kenya, we'll have demonstrations in East Africa, and we'll put pressure on Museveni. He must relinquish power. That is not something debatable. Yes.
So do you think there's a possibility that there's any truth to the accusations against Bobi Wine?
I don't believe there's any accusation. Immediately when you have a government threatened by a person who is standing for the people, the government feels threatened, and that is what we are fighting against. In Kenya, we had dictatorship before. We fought it, even with comrades, and that is why we are here right now. Yeah.
So, as a Kenyan, or as Kenyans, is there anything you'd like to say to the Ugandans, real quick?
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk.
Toothbrush.
So I check it.
So nitaomba kuna mtu mmoja wa power akuja hapa, mwingine wa NSK, mwingine wa power strength glory belong to us. From section data anakuonyesha elimu ya Bobi, then we submit the petition. Sawa. Sawa, then where are you? NSK, power glory strength belong to the people. Are we coming there or here? Where are we coming? Here. Committee hapa. Committee kidogo tu. Kidogo committee. Kidogo committee. Then where are you? Yeah, we are. Just show us the picture. The two issues are going to be there. Yeah. And then, yeah.
You guys then lead Yeah, sure. Let me do that. It's easy. You have to do two people so that you say. So that two people. Wind up.
Comrades power! Power! Comrades power! Power! Comrades Ria! We are troubled by the violating human rights and using torture. The government of the Republic of Uganda is willfully disregarding international laws such as the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community, the United Nations Convention Against Torture, the African Charter on Human Rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. These conventions guide every party state on human rights issues. We are further disturbed that His Excellency, the President of Uganda, found it appropriate to mock, belittle, downplay the veracity of human rights violations in a statement where he referred to his people as chronically indisciplined leaders. That's power! We cannot allow. He's not listening. How do we ejaculate on his mouth? We are also bothered by actions of the security forces in using excessive force in dispersing anti-government demonstrators seeking release of detained politicians in various parts of the country, mostly Kampala, where security officers have fired live ammunition at the crowd, causing loss of life and maiming of innocent civilians. There have also been arbitrary arrests of dozens of people. We are aware of reports of arrest and intimidation of journalists, such as Akena James, a photo journalist attached with looters who was beaten up while covering the protest on 20th August. Hatuna ngiri kumi! Hatuna ngiri kumi! Where is he going to? They need money, huh? They need money, huh? They need money. Okay, let's find out. If you are not receiving the petition, we are going to pin it here and leave. Yes. Let's pin the petition here and leave. Just like we did in Parliament.
Where's the petition? Where is the petition?
Finish it there.
Yes, Hashem. You have others, Marama.
Is it here, public officer?
If they have refused for that,
We have cowards for leaders. Yes.
Let's go. Let's go. You go. You go.
That is wrong.
You go. Uganda House. Uganda House. Uganda House. It's not possible. I have not eaten. It's not possible. I am not eaten. I am very.
Hello and welcome back to Pulse Live Kenya. My name is Shem Wikia. So we are outside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where one of the ministers had said that they would be willing to receive officers. Sorry, one of the officers had said that they would be willing to receive the petition, but that is not looking like it's going to happen right now. But the march is still going on. We are headed toward the High Commission of Uganda, and we will be joining you live yet again from that side with the details of what is going on live and direct. So let's meet at the High Commission of Uganda.